You may be one of those people that's always prided on yourself on getting along with others. Like you felt like, I'm pretty low maintenance. I get along with almost everybody. And yeah, whatever you want to do, those friends, they're just easy. They make your life easy. And we gravitate to them because they make our lives easy. And there's really nothing wrong with it. And we can even contrast that with the high maintenance person, the person who seems so sensitive, no matter where you want to go out to eat. No, I don't like that. Or whatever you pick out for them to wear, oh, that doesn't look good. Now, and they're just picky. And if you think about it, when you're dating, many times we keep our needs to ourselves. And the reason is we don't want to offset our partner, or maybe it's somebody we really like and we're afraid if we make any demands at all that we won't be liked as much by them. The thing about being low maintenance is it's fine if you're fine with it. But what's important is that if you're not fine with it, maybe as a child, you learned that showing your emotion was rejected, or if you were angry, there was no place for that. If you were angry, you were sent to your room, or if you displayed dissatisfaction with something your parents did, they got defensive and they might have punished you for it. And in that case, those children grow up to be adults who may seem passive, or as if they don't care, or as if they're low maintenance, like they just go along with whatever. But underneath, there's things going on. So I'm going to go through a list of what causes what I consider low maintenance people. And this list is mostly comprised of things that would not be positive and maybe would explain if you feel low maintenance or that you are easy to get along with, that you go along with anything. It makes you understand how you may be actually getting taken advantage of, because this is where the feelings come from. So the first, if your parents shut down your feelings or said something like enough already when you were really upset, parents frequently became emotionally overwhelmed by your experiences, anything you would have said. Maybe your parents taught your kids that true reactions were displeasing, and therefore they weren't allowed in your home. Your parents made jokes about them or teased you about them, which would even be worse. Maybe your parents shut you in a room or left you somewhere isolated when you were being honest, authentic with what you were feeling. They weren't able to handle it. Or maybe the child grew up in a chaotic home where their emotional needs went unmet constantly. Parents were addicted, or parents were always fighting. There was a lot of parental problems, domestic abuse, and the child was just being raised on the side as almost a pawn when something would happen. Or maybe parents praised you for not crying, or maybe your parents praised you for being so compliant, getting along so well, and it became part of the way you could please your parents. Be more compliant. Just go with the flow. In big families, you see that a lot. Maybe a friend or a romantic partner or a teacher labeled other people as dramatic or sensitive when they were picky. And because you saw that and the approval of these people meant so much, you absolutely did the opposite. Or maybe you were excluded in school, and so you learned to be an easy friend, to make friends with people, to go along with them just to be included. Sometimes if you were raised by really angry people, or you had an angry house sitter or an angry teacher, you learned this compliant mannerism because you noticed that it helped disarm their anger, or you at least knew the anger wouldn't be directed at you, which means a lot as you grow up into an adult, because those old patterns don't go away. Many times they're incorporated into our personality, who we are. So when you become an adult, and this is part of your background, then your feelings of anger or your feelings of sadness or grief or rejection or just anything you feel, you're going to swallow it. you're not going to be able to share it. And the reason you won't share it is because you're fearful. That fear stays with us. And it comes out in the sense that we worry about our partner abandoning us, or we worry about ourselves looking away, that we don't want to appear. Remember, we have a whole persona built off of getting along with others. And what happens if we start getting authentic with what we feel? Many times these people will hide other things that happen among the couple. With a child might be insulting or rude, but because the parent doesn't want to make a scene and always wants to seem super nice, they just completely swallow it, and they just will say, oh yeah, they'll make excuses for the child, because the whole concept that their child wouldn't get along is an embarrassment to them. I think the impact of being too low maintenance is you start noticing that you're getting overlooked, start noticing that you're getting dismissed. Your partner's less likely to ask your opinion because they know you'll go along with it. You may feel taken advantage of. You may feel disrespected. So the issue is, I want you to ask yourself, am I a low maintenance person because I pride myself on getting along with others? It's important to me. I'm aware of it. But I too have a line, like I'll get along with you as long as. So you do have a boundary of sacred things that you won't let somebody push you around with. I think that's a healthy person who is a little bit lower maintenance. The thing to ask yourself, if you are that way, is my low maintenance due to something I fear? If the answer to that is yes, then I think I would really start doing some soul searching. A therapist could help, reading books about boundaries would help. All of these things come into play with different mental illnesses, but it's not a mental illness we're talking about. Low maintenance is a temperance, it's a way you are. But being low maintenance because you fear displeasing someone or rejection or not being included, being alienated, that's a whole different thing. Then it's time to work on the issue.